Hiya. So when I asked today what would contribute to you most, there seems to be a theme running a bit from the previous week's video. That's what this is. So I just came from getting a colonic, and when I lived over in Asia, and I would go to Thailand typically for my Chinese New Year 3 or 4 week breaks. I would get coffee enemas and I would get colonics, and as I lived in Taiwan throughout the school year, I would get loads of every week I would get new and different and continuing traditional holistic treatments. And I am talking about this because I just wonder, this is where I got, this is going to be a contribution to you all, how easy it is for you to get yourself to do something you don't really want to do, but you know you need to do. So we're talking about those nudges, we're talking about the intuitive guidance, and what I'm really honing in on today is how much self-discipline do you have? And it's not the typical way you think of self-discipline, okay? It's a different aspect where it's coming from a sense of appreciation for your body, gratitude for all of the support that it gives you, just like your home, just like your car. We do these clearing out, right? And as we're in the beginning, this is, a timeless video for sure, but it's being recorded live just at the start of March 2024. And so we just began a new month, and in about 8 days, a week from tomorrow, we're going to be in the United States springing forward with our clocks, and in the UK a couple of more weeks on the day of, we do that on a day of a new moon in the States, and the UK moves their clocks forward on a day when it's, I think it's the day before or the day of the full moon with the eclipse this month. We also have the equinox coming up on the 19th, so we're approaching spring. And it's a great time to consider, yes, I am talking about spring cleaning within, but y'all, I'm talking about it from a perspective of ongoing, right? So you know the work that I do. It is this sense like, I spoke yesterday with one of my masterminders, and she's been working with me at this point probably for about a year, starting in Magic Manifestation of Money Flow, my signature program. And then about a quarter of the people, when it's a right fit, come into the mastermind, continue that work on self-evolution, self-mastery, as well as mastery over the manifestation process, and get trained as a vibration upgrade practitioner. She was going through, and I have been wailing on her with the energy. She just went through a situation in her life that really helped her flush what we had been already clearing, and the empowerment on the other side of a pattern that's been unfun for her, the gem. And so her body went into a big seemingly sickness, and she said something very wise yesterday as she's learned from working with me. This doesn't feel like a medical thing, it feels like I'm purging. And so helping your system purge in a way that isn't going to put so much responsibility on your body, because we're already working our bodies a lot, right? There is a lot of stress living on planet Earth right now in what is considered humanity's greatest evolutionary leap ever. And one of the ways to really make it easier for yourself is to consider helping your body and what seems like the typical way to live, like using your self-discipline or your will, by doing more work with the clearings and the activations in your consciousness, in your subtle energy system. So for example, the solar plexus chakra, the third one, upper belly, helps. It's the beginning of the digestive tract at the belly level after the digestive juices happen in the mouth. And it's also where your will, so the different petals around the symbol of a chakra, each petal is an aspect of the chakra. Your will, your power to manifest, your self-esteem, your empowerment is known traditionally as the power center of the 7 chakra system. I consider and have since about 2016, when I realized that the throat chakra, so I have my Bridget Celtic knot here, is the second power center. So if we activate, clear out the blockages in our chakra system in a profound way, not just by listening to a video on YouTube where you're listening to sound healing for the chakra. They don't get balanced that way. If a chakra is, and it is, the intersection of the mind, the body, and the spirit, there we go, then it is the way I have seen to access not only the most reliable, consistently reliable understanding of people's blocks and patterns that you no longer want, that you would like to move and evolve beyond, but it's also how I can activate your subtle energy system, which is a science. And so by activating the other side of a clearing, the way that I do it, your subtle energy system, you could have more help, for example, in your solar plexus by having more of your solar plexus online, activated, to have more self-discipline, to have more willpower. Then let's talk about the heart chakra for a minute. Self-love, self-care is there. A sense of self-respect is there too, as well as in the third chakra. So if you have more self-love, more desire to care for yourself, you're going to be having an easier time nurturing, nourishing your body and doing what it needs, helping it, as well as doing the things that you don't necessarily want to do, but you know you need to. So rather than all that forcing and efforting and making yourself do something, I want you to consider that there is an easier way to go about life. It's one of the main reasons why I do the work that I do in these times, not only because of what I've said, but that we can then have our systems much more optimized to thrive with the energetics we're now living in and moving into. So I want you to consider doing something today that you don't necessarily want to do, but you know you need to. And it's interesting because I think that this is part of why there is a theme. One of the aspects of the Year of the Dragon is to become less risk averse, to be more willing to take risks. One of the aspects that I talked about in last week's video of this full moon we just had is about getting yourself more support so that you can go make progress, evolve. So if you put those two together, voila, right? Do something different in the way of helping yourself so that you have more ease doing what you need to do to help yourself flourish more. Now, I'm in total celebration, frankly, right now, because, you know, many of you don't know this because you're working with me at this level of videos only. I save all of my holistic health and tonic herbalism and fitness, nutrition, and longevity techniques for people working with me at the mastermind level when they've committed to that level, because everybody's all over the place with health, right? And I used to work with health all the time and have helped many people move through really incredible health crises. And it's not fun. I have to go really high to do that. So I stopped doing it in about 2016, but I'll still do it for my masterminders because they are engaged in this process I've been talking about in this video. So I don't have to go so high because the health crises aren't so big, because it's preventative, proactive stuff I'm talking about. It's not just like Preventative Health 101, as if in college you're taking a course. It's like Preventative Health 501, 901, right? So just consider this, for example. Your colon, or let me get more clear. Your large intestines in traditional Chinese medicine are known to be a part of the overall system that deals with the element of metal, which we don't have in the 4-element system of the West, and nor does the Ayurvedic, the yogic culture have that. They also have 5 elements, but it's ether. That is the one that's the 5th, that's different than what we have in the West. So the metal element also involves the lungs. So I know that just yesterday I talked to 3 people, and one of them was the client I just referred to, and 2 others were males and not working with me, they were sick, congestion. And I know that has been seen out there a lot more lately, yeah? So if respiratory issues have become more challenging in the last few years, the more you take care of your large intestines, your digestive tract, the better your respiratory tract will be, right? So it is a time for us to up our game. And I'm so grateful because so many more people are now focused on health post-COVID. And it has helped in that way, right? So what would it feel like for you to hear what I've just said with different ears, with opening and open to new possibilities, and without the assumptions that you've probably heard in your ego mind in reaction to what you've heard me say throughout this video at different points? Just re-listen to it and allow yourself to just receive it like it's a transmission, and you're sitting there, let's say, with your palms up in your lap, and you let yourself just receive what's being said. Because with all the work that I've done through the years, decades, when I talk, it moves energy now, and it's charging up your keys and codes. And there's keys and codes all throughout my field because of the work I do daily that get activated from you interacting in this way with me, even just at this level. So if you were to receive clearings and activations, then you're taking it up to the next level. And then if you were to work with me directly, you're taking it up to the next level. That's what I meant by saying just at this level. So you have certain assumptions, right? You know that because you found me. So you know you have certain unconscious and subconscious blocks. And 95% of where we make our daily choices from come from thoughts we don't hear. So if you went through the process I just described and listened to this video again and didn't pay attention to your objections, your ego mind saying, yes, I agree, or no, I don't agree, or just letting yourself receive what I'm saying, I bet you'd have an easier day today. And I bet you'd have an easier time getting yourself upgraded for what's coming. This month of March is going to be rich. In the spring and the summer, I mean, get ready to let yourself be buoyant in a higher vibration, because there is so much becoming possible, like releasing from the greater vibrational backdrop we're living in. One of my absolute joys to do in Magic Manifestation and Money Flow, my signature program, is in the first 6 weeks of it, you're watching videos and modules where I'm connecting your overall field, your subtle energy bodies. You have about 7 of them around your physical body that create your aura, and that the chakras totally create. I connect that with, I open it up more to allow in new possibilities, as well as do it for you and show you how to do it, to connect more and more with the field of unlimited possibilities, or the Tao, so that the law of attraction or the law of magnetics gets easier for you. I'm noticing the time and thinking of your attention spans. So on that note, namaste, blessings.